Okay, recording in progress. Got it. I've been asked to briefly introduce Jake, and I've got to say that I've asked him for, what have you done, and he sent me a long list of things, of qualifications that make him eminently qualified to talk about mindfulness. And but the main thing, the key thing with Jake, and I know this because I know Jake from other places too, is that he believes in showing up and working from a place of heart. And I'm judging that's a thing we can trust. And so that's Jake. So we're going to have a listen here in a second. One story he told me, though, in preparation for this, when I asked him, was how he worked with Haitian children. And by the time they were done with their studies together, one of the students came to him and said, "I feel like I'm in paradise." I believe that's what this man lives for. Let's have a listen.
Thank you, John. So I invite everybody just to get settled, and as you transition from the previous wonderful presentation with John and Brian, and I'll start with a little bit of humor, a short joke. Did any of you hear about the new restaurant named Karma? They don't have menus. You pretty much get what you deserve. So how many people on this call have a mindfulness practice, either meditation on a regular basis, not necessarily every day, but periodically, or try to live a mindful life, meaning living in the moment? So about half the men. So as John mentioned, I've been working with elementary school students since 2005, and because of our society's evolution, I like to think of it as an evolution, mindfulness has become more important because of all the challenges on this planet. COVID is the latest one. And at the end of each session, the first session, I'd ask the students to experience what they have, a show of hands. And it's usually only 3 or 4 minutes. They will sit. Often I'll play music and we'll shut the lights off and ask them to breathe. And they all show different levels of understanding and the ability to grasp, meditation and mindfulness concepts over time. But at one school, 2 students shared the following. It was a young lady, 5th grade class in the suburbs. Mr. Jacobson, that was tough. I'm always doing something with my time, schoolwork, reading, or playing with my friends. So that was really challenging. And I thanked her. Then another student who offered his response with a lot of enthusiasm, he said, "Mr. Jacobson, that was the most boring thing I've ever done in my life." And I just laughed. If it was 10 years ago, I might have been triggered by that, but I try to meet people where they are. And NKP has really helped me do that more and more. And as I went into the Haitian class in Boston, first session was, as John described, it lasted actually 4 minutes long, which is really a long time, for 5th graders and virtually all Haitians. And when I asked for them to volunteer, how they experienced it, half the kids raised a hand. And that's when the Haitian student said, "I feel like I'm in paradise." So everyone experiences meditation differently, especially at the beginning of creating a practice. So I'd like to talk about some of the benefits of mindfulness/meditation, and maybe write down 1 or 2 things if you don't have a practice that you might like to use, have this be part of your life. So it does several things, and those that meditate know this. It reduces stress, improves attention, helps improve memory, fosters better relationships. It can also boost immune function, which is pretty amazing. It can mitigate pain. It can actually make you kinder and more thoughtful, more empathetic to yourself and others. It can actually combat obesity because you're more mindful about what you eat and how much you eat. And it can reverse some of the aging effects in the brain, through neuroplasticity. Studies show that if we sit for 10 minutes a day, and it could be 5 2-minute sessions or 1 10-minute session or any combination thereof, you can enhance the quality of your life. So I love parables and quotes. A young man approached the Zen master and asked what they do that allows them to seem so happy all the time. And the master said, well, we sit, we eat, we talk, and walk. And the young man said, well, doesn't everybody do that? And he responded, well, the difference is we know we're eating and sitting and talking and walking and living in those moments. And studies show that most people are living somewhere else in their minds, anywhere from 50 to 75% of the time, or even more. So, this is early to start a breakout room. But I think that it's good to get to know each other a little bit and to see, if we have men in the room or women in the room that do have a meditation or mindfulness practice, what their benefits are. So Bob, if you don't mind putting about 4 people per room, that would be great. Just so we can, take 3-4 minutes each and just talk about if you have a mindfulness or meditation practice, how does it help you? And if you don't, maybe 1 or 2 things that you're looking to do if you decide to start a mindfulness practice. Between stimulus and response is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Best example, you're driving on the highway around the speed limit, and of course it's the BMW that cuts you off and misses your car by 2 inches. That's a scenario. That's a stimulus. Ask yourself how you normally respond. So 10 years ago, I would respond with a finger, and it's not this one. I'd beat my horn, I might yell, and my adrenaline is pumping, my cortisol is pumping and surging through my system. And it might take me an hour to get over that, ruminating, like, what did this person do that for? Now it's more taking a breath, thanking God that that person's car didn't hit me. May they be aware that they almost killed 2 people or had a bad accident, maybe with a big car pile up on Route 128 or 95. And may they be peace. May they go have a peaceful day. So that quote you could bring anywhere with you. When we were kids growing up, my parents taught me to count to 10. And that seemed kind of lame, but looking back at it, that was one of the best things they taught me. Let things process. You can react or you can stop, think, and respond. So we have a choice. And there's a lot of different ways we can slow ourselves down and live more in the moment for all it's worth. How many people have done body scans? Okay. So a body scan is simple. We're not going to do it now, but it's a great tool.
Oh,
you can do it yourself, or you can hear it, go online, go on YouTube, and it's free. You can go on Calm. There's so many apps that are out there that are free, and some cost whatever it is. To me, it's worth it. I have 3 of them just so I can learn more all the time. Body scan is just relaxing, whether you're sitting, lying down, or standing, and just closing your eyes and breathing, checking in with your head, the top of your scalp, and another couple of breaths. What is up there? Is it hot, cold? Do you feel anything at all? Going down to your face and jaw, just checking in. is your jaw tight and moving down through your whole body, doing one little section at a time. And you can invite that part of your body, if it is tight, to have that awareness. And you can breathe in oxygen and calmness and relaxation, and you can breathe out carbon dioxide and whatever's there, and it may soften the anxiety or the tension or even the pain in some cases. So that's one. There's a simple body scan. It could take 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how fast you want to do it. Then there's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tanya's on the call, and she knows how to do that because she's taken a course through Mindful Schools in California. She's one of our teachers in the Flow Creek Jacobson initiative. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tanya, you want to tell people how to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Or would you rather me do it? You want me to do it? Okay. And this can take 2 minutes or it can take 5 minutes. And it's about using our 5 senses, about getting present in the moment. And so the first one is what we see. So whatever room you're in, if you can just look and focus on 5 different things, for a few seconds each, just take it in, like you're connecting to each item and whatever meaning it has for you, and maybe take a breath or two. And I can stretch this out, but for purposes of time, I'll go to the next one. Next one is 4. 4 things that you can touch, using your sense of touch, water bottle, my shirt, my glasses, my hair, it can be anything. And just focus on the sensations on each of the things that you touch. Third thing is, what do you hear? The power of hearing, other than my voice. Is there a hum? Are there birds outside? Is there a vehicle going by? Is it really quiet so you almost don't hear anything but your own breath? 2 things. Are there any odors that you can smell, or memories of odors from what you had to eat today, or cooking, or if you're outside in the woods, the beautiful smells of Mother Nature. And the last one is taste. Do you have anything going on with your taste buds right now that's something you've eaten recently, or a memory of that incredible cup of gourmet coffee you had this morning or is having right now? So just embracing all those things can give us a fun way to become more present, and you can do it in just 2 minutes. It's really pretty powerful. Another thing that we can do is use the STOP method. And I use that mostly with, children and adults, STOP. If somebody is experiencing some tension or anxiety, that's life. It really is life. We're in the society. We're not out in some desert island somewhere and just worry about what we're going to eat and how to survive. There's stress around that too. But if we feel, the feelings of anxiety and stress coming, it's something as simple as called STOP, S-T-O-P. First thing is, if you can, not if you're driving, John, you have to pull over on the side of the road. So the idea is to stop what you're doing and then take a little time to see what's happening. Try to relax, allow your body to relax a little bit so you can sense, what is this? Is this bad news? Is this anxiety from something from the past? Is this a worry that I'm not going to get to the plane on time? And just observe it and sit with it. Maybe invite it in, nurture it, hold it, knowing that you're bigger than that. And maybe take a breath or two and then proceed. So it's STOP. So those are just some of the tools that are out there. So there's 4 different positions to meditate. It's probably more than that, but the 4 main positions are sitting, which is the most common. There's standing, there's walking, and you can be out in Mother Nature and do a walking meditation, or wherever you are. You can do slow walking meditation, mindful walking, wherever, or lying down. But of course, if you're lying down, there's a chance that you'll fall asleep. So, if you've ever heard of Rumi, anybody hear of Rumi before? Good. So Rumi was a 13th century philosopher that wrote something that is one of the many things he wrote is something called the guest house. So before I recite it, it's important to know that mindfulness or meditation is not something that is going to transform you into a perfect place. The idea is for it to allow you to see that you already have perfection where you are. It's right under our noses. And the way to do that is to, live life with openness and open heart and courage. So the guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the front door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So I invite everybody to get into a comfortable position. And so you can be cognizant of how you feel right now. Maybe you put your feet flat on the floor, feeling safe and comfortably connected, with Mother Nature, Mother Earth. You can have your back straight but not rigid, and just allow your shoulders to relax and place your hand in a comfortable place, whether it's your knees, your thighs, or your belly. And I invite you to either close your eyes or soften your gaze. Maybe look at something, 5 or 6 feet in front of you. And I'm going to use 1 bell to start and 3 bells to finish. I think we have enough time for this. So as the bell sound dissipates, just continue to settle into that comfortable but yet alert position and posture. Allow this moment to be the first and only moment of your life, because it is right now. Dropping in and riding by moment by your breath, 1 breath at a time. And I invite you to take 3 slow, long, deep breaths. And as you breathe in, know that you're breathing in when you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, know that you're breathing out when you're breathing out. So I invite you to become aware of this breath coming in and leaving the body, riding the waves of the breath sensations in the body, moment by timeless moment. And as you do that, becoming more awake and more alert. And when you notice that your mind is not focused on the breath, and you find that you are lost in thought, whether it's monkey mind, or focusing on emotions, or ruminating about the past, just noticing in the moment what's on your mind. So when you know you are no longer focusing on your breath, that is the moment of awareness, and that's what you want. Then you have a choice. Notice what's there, and you can come back to your breath if you choose to. And if your mind wanders 200 times, with a sense of self-love and acceptance, acknowledge that thought or feeling and let it be as it is. And come back to the body and the breath at the first place where your breathing is the most clear for you, whether it's your sinuses, or your throat, or your lungs, or your diaphragm, or your belly, focusing on that one spot. And here we are again, one breath at a time. So as the mind does wander, the wonderful normal human condition, we come back to the breath gently, not pursuing any goal of feeling or even trying to find that place of equanimity. It's really there already. But if we try to find it, it becomes elusive. We just have to be and have an awareness of our own body breathing, moment by timeless moment, as we sit here allowing awakeness. And if your mind is lost in thought, do you have an awareness of it? Can you just let it be? Thoughts and feelings can be likened to a train coming into the station, and you're on the platform. The train stops, the doors open, and you can get in, and the doors will close, and you're right off with that thought or that emotion. And you're free to do that. Or you can stand there at the train station, let the doors open, then close, and take off. And you're still in your body. You're still getting below what's there. And before you know it, another train comes into the station. So the breath is always moving in the body. Can we return to it? And each moment is a new beginning. Each breath, a new beginning. Every out breath, a completing letting go. So be comfortable with stillness and silence as we ride on the waves of the breath. Let go coming back to the body, sitting, relaxed, simply breathing. It's our capacity for awareness. That's the most important part of this. What is happening? So let's expand to other sensations of the body. Is there a discomfort of the body? Of the sounds around us? What are we focusing on? And the spaces between them. We could expand our thoughts and emotions that often carry us away from the breath. Now I'd like to invite you away from all objects of attention and focus on choiceless awareness. That is to invite whatever is there. Invite you to be in that main place of focus of awareness so that it's seen and met without going deep into it. It will soon pass. Just like in Rumi's house, it'll soon pass. Maybe as a reflection of what came before it. And just relate to whatever arises. Be with the knowing of what you are now aware of. Can we label what is there? Is it a thought? An emotion? Is it a worry? Is it a sensation of the body? A feeling of calm, a feeling of pain, a feeling of discomfort? Can we see it if it's pleasant or unpleasant? All of this can be done underneath thinking. That's one of the great places to be. Take practice, but you can all do it. As we rest in this other part of our powerful human intelligence that is so poorly understood, but very important to living life fully, awareness itself. So for the next minute or two, I invite you to rest in this boundless place of your own awareness. It is the quality of simply knowing as we are in this boundary-free place. We are moving through the thoughts and sensations. It's life unfolding and becoming more clear to us. We can sit here, nurture and hold it in each moment. If you're growing fidgety during the sitting, that's okay. That's normal. Perhaps take it as part of the experience. These meditations aren't meant to be easy, but learning to be in a more wise relationship with all of our life's experiences. If you lose focus, it's good to use the breath to come back to the moment. And once we return to that place of residency, right here, in your amazing ability to be awake, not really looking for anything or pushing anything away, just resting in awareness, being in that place of knowing and of not knowing. Your awareness already is and has been. So you can be right at home. There's no way to go and nothing you have to do. So if you can sit in a place of loving compassion with yourself, and as we approach the end of this sitting, let's come back and focus on our breath. Awareness of the breath sensations and the choices we're making comes from the same wisdom of our awareness in the moment. The awareness is always boundless, is always able to hold and contain whatever arises during our sittings. And as all things are, it's temporary and it passes. So for now, let's really feel our breath again, knowing that the choiceless awareness practice can be part of how we live our life. It's a great asset to be aware of and use, living in the moment. And you can be more open-hearted, and be in awareness throughout the day, not just when you're meditating, but as you go through the day. Using your 5 senses to bring yourself back. Use your alarm clock twice a day to remind you to breathe. If you lose it and you have that moment of not being in that place, you can shift to getting it back. And if you develop a regular practice over time, you may discover it's a place to reside in, a place you can live in. The heart, mind, body, and spirit can become integrated more and more over time with a growing practice. The entirety of the world and the universe can be contained within us. Knowing that you're breathing in when you're breathing in, and knowing that you're breathing out when you're breathing out. Einstein said that there are 2 ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle, the other is though everything is a miracle. Life is truly magnificent in all its amazing mystery and beauty, right here, right now, fully embraced, embodying awareness. Thanks for sitting with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
Thank you.